Hi guys, hope you're well. So today I want to speak about ethnic comedy and why it's so important, and also why it's so funny and why it resonates really well, and why basically so many creators have created so much ethnic comedy and how they've done it so well. So I want to start off with what ethnic comedy is. So ethnic comedy is basically a genre, or a term I've used, which is all around basically creating comedy which resonates or speaks about ethnic stereotypes. So for example, if it's Stephen He with his Asian dad, kind of imitations and his sketches and skits and things like that, or whether it was Fusi Tube back in the day when he used to do things like Middle Eastern mums do, or Middle Eastern parents say, or whether it's Zayd Ali T with his content all around the things that his mum would talk about, or the things that he would experience as like a Desi child, or anything around that essentially. And I think what's really interesting, what's really important around why ethnic comedy does so well, is that it basically speaks to a demographic or an audience which understand that struggle so well. So they can really understand and connect and really kind of just have a laugh at the things that perhaps they had gone through when they were young, or what they're going through at the moment. And a lot of this content is quite family friendly. So it means that it's just a way of connecting cultures, a way of connecting generations, a way of connecting like a lot. One example is of Zayd Ali T's video. Zayd Ali basically did a video all around how his mum called him down for dinner. Called, really shouted, "Oh my God, where are you, etc." And when he actually came down, the mum says to him, yeah, it's ready, basically ready. There's only like 5 minutes left. But in the meantime, what you can do is help dress the table, you can help pick this up, sort this out, etc. And that was something that I think a lot of young Asian kids also resonate with, because it was something that always happens, like it literally happens with me as well. So I know, but I think it's really, really funny. It was a way of basically taking a simple situation like that and just basically having a bit of fun with it and kind of laughing at the small little things and being quite aware of the fact that, yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like a quirky little thing that Indian mums do or Desi mums do. It's just one of those things. But I think being able to laugh about it and being a lot more kind of understanding of the fact that other people are also going through this, I think it's a really nice way to build a community, which he obviously did really well. And it's also a nice way to basically bring like many different cultures together. So like Indian, Pakistani, normally they sometimes have like clashes between the two cultures, or it's just a nice way to kind of bring everything and everyone together, because I think everyone can resonate and understand from that. And there's similar things again with Arab content as well. So there's quite a bit of Arab ethnic comedy, which is all around mums and the things that they do and things that other family members do. That's another way of bringing the Arab community together, and from Yemeni with Saleh to Palestinian with Fusi, Yusuf as well. And it's just a really, really nice way of bringing all of these communities into one kind of like understanding of like, yeah, okay, we all go through this together, then that means. So I think that was a really nice way of bringing just ethnic comedy basically allows communities to come together, allows cultures to come together, and also allows people to really kind of just have a laugh at the things that they're going through. And they might find it a little bit annoying, but also I think it's just one of those things like this happens to everyone. So I think that's a really lovely way. But what's also really good and what's really important around ethnic comedy is that other people who also watch this comedy understand more about different cultures, and they understand it in a really humorous kind of funny way, and it's not a kind of, they're not taking the mick out of them. Uncle Roger is a great example of this. So Uncle Roger, Nigel Ung, he's a really, really good example. So you can have a parody of an uncle, of a traditional Asian uncle, but you don't have to kind of take the mick out of them. And it's in a way which is so authentic, but also kind of comical as well. And I think that was what he actually spoke about in one of his interviews that he did for Lab Bible, is that a lot of people accuse him of taking the mick out of kind of Asian uncles or Asians in general, but in actuality what he's actually doing is lifting them up and lifting the people up in general, because what he's basically doing is speaking about the pride and amazing things that Asian people can do. So for example, when it came to Auntie Hirsch's rice video, and he was all around the BBC Food kind of video, and he was making a load of fun of this poor woman. He spoke about basically how Asians do things correctly, how they do things well, how it's actually done. So he actually brought a lot of knowledge to the forefront, and he brought a lot of knowledge to a lot of other people as well. But even in his like previous TikTok videos where he was just kind of taking the mick a bit and just having a bit of fun, he still kind of showed those stereotypes and just had a bit of fun with it. Like there was nothing which would detrimentally cause detrimental damage in a way, because I feel like what he was doing was understanding and connecting with his own people in a way that people communicate with really well, which is comedy. So I think connecting and coming closer with your own community through a different medium is still extremely commendable, because it shows the way that it's a real insight of understanding how people communicate. And I think that is what really led him to be quite successful, but also his incredible knowledge of food, whether it be Indian food. Like he's Malaysian, he's literally from Malaysia. He's not really like, he's not the typical stereotype that you would think of knowing about Indian food or would have any kind of knowledge of that. And to be honest, he knew more about Indian food and how to make butter chicken than I think a lot of Indians out there. So I think it was a really, really nice way of, again, connecting cultures, connecting communities who would not normally kind of understand each other as well. And I think that was really lovely. So there is so much depth to ethnic comedy beyond obviously there being just like a paradisial. But beyond being just that, I think it is a lot around kind of teaching people about culture, as well as bringing communities together, and as well as kind of being a herald or someone who is kind of at the forefront of bringing that conversation to light and lifting up the people within minority ethnic communities and within kind of ethnic communities in general as well. So overall, ethnic comedy is an amazing tool to help teach people about culture, to help people connect in terms of different communities, different cultures, and also just bring a bit of a light comedy into everyone's life, and to also just bring about new different characters into the mainstream. So for example, with Uncle Roger, it's just about bringing these amazing characters to the forefront. I think YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all of these kind of platforms have been amazing at pushing that narrative forward and really helping creators grow. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.